Right now, millions of people are clicking a button that they think makes them completely invisible. They see a little shield icon, a green light, and they think they've just bought themselves total privacy. But what if I told you that by trying to hide from your internet provider, you might have just handed your entire digital life over to a shell company in a tax haven that is currently auctioning off your data to the highest bidder? In the world of cybersecurity, free isn't a price. It's a trap. And today we're going to look exactly how that trap is set. Hey everyone, welcome back to the South Era Network. This is Tech Talks with Hustan. Today we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most misunderstood tool in technology, VPN. Specifically, we're talking about why the most popular choice is often the dangerous one. Most people believe they are buying privacy. They download an app, they connect, and they feel instant sense of relief. But here is the foundational law of the internet. If a VPN is free, you are the product. That's not a cynical slogan. That's not a marketing pitch for paid services. That is just pure basic economics. Running a VPN is not like running the calculator app. It requires massive physical infrastructure. And the reason this matters and the reason it is actually dangerous is because most people are using VPNs for the wrong reason. They think a VPN creates privacy out of thin air. Well, I hate to inform you, but it doesn't. A VPN doesn't eliminate trust, it moves it. When you go online without a VPN, your internet traffic flows a very specific path. It goes from your phone or your laptop to your internet provider, also called the ISP, and then out to the vast world of websites and applications. Your ISP sees a lot. They see that you visited a medical forum at 2 a.m. They see that you're browsing jobs while you're supposed to be working. They also see your metadata, your timing, and your habits as well. Now, when you turn on a VPN, you are essentially building an encrypted tunnel from your device to the VPN provider's server. Your ISP can see that you connected to that tunnel, but they can no longer see what's inside it. They just see a stream of encrypted gibberish. But here's the part 99% of people skip. The VPN provider can see everything that the ISP used to see. Your traffic still has to exit that tunnel eventually to reach the website you're visiting. At that exit point, the VPN provider has total visibility. They see the websites, they see the apps, they see the DNS request, they see when you're online and when you're not. Nothing actually disappears. Visibility just changes hands. It's like switching couriers. Instead of the state-regulated postal service carrying your envelope, you hand it to a private individual you just met in a parking lot. Essentially, someone is still holding your data. The question is, who do you trust more? And if you don't know who owns your VPN, the answer is nobody. Let's talk about the business of being a VPN provider. This is the context most users ignore because we've been trained to think software is free. But a VPN isn't just free software. It's hardware. You need high-speed servers in dozens of countries. You need to pay for massive amounts of bandwidth, terabytes upon terabytes of data flowing every hour. You need a team of elite security engineers to keep the network from being breached. You need a 24/7 support staff, and you also need to pay your legal teams to handle subpoenas. A VPN is a massive, hungry infrastructure project. So if you aren't paying the monthly subscription fee, where is the money coming from? Or how are they benefiting? I can promise you that people running that free unlimited VPN aren't doing it as a charity. They have investors, they have payroll, and they have a bottom line. This is where free VPNs start doing things that the average user never expects. First, there is the data brokerage. Some VPNs log every single thing that you do. They claim that they don't do it. They'll even put that on their websites. We don't collect anything in giant letters. But if you dig into the 50-page privacy policy that they have, you'll find it in the fine print. It will say something as vague as collect anonymized usage data. In the world of data science, anonymized is a myth. If I have a record of a user who visits a specific church on Sundays, a specific oncology clinic on Tuesdays, and a specific office building on weekdays, I don't need their name to know exactly who they are. Metadata alone can identify you with frightening accuracy. The data is then bundled and then sold to advertisers, insurance companies, or even more nefarious parties. But it gets much worse than just selling your browsing history. There is this new element that many people aren't aware of. That's called bandwidth reselling. Some of the most popular free VPN apps on the app stores have been caught using what's called a peer-to-peer model. When you install their free software, you aren't just a user. You are a resource. You are basically agreeing, usually buried in that long terms of service, to allow them to use your device and your home connection as an exit node for their paying customers. Just think about the implications of that. A stranger on the other side of the world could be using a premium version of the same service, and when they want to browse the internet, their traffic is being routed through your house. Now, if that stranger uses your connection to download something illegal or to launch a cyber attack, or even visit prohibited websites, the digital paper trail doesn't lead back to them in another country. Instead, it leads back to your IP address. To the eyes of the law, you are the one that is requesting that data. Suddenly, activity you didn't generate, activity that might be criminal, is associated with your name. Honestly, in this case, you're not the one getting privacy. Instead, you are providing a mask for someone else to wear while they commit crimes, and you are simply paying for the privilege with your own legal safety. When you use an ISP like Comcast, AT&T, or Verizon, or any other, you know exactly who they are. You might not like their prices and you might not like their service, but they are regulated and they're known. They have physical offices. They have executives with names. They have a legal obligation to follow the laws of your country. There is a paper trail and a chain of accountability. Many free VPNs have none of that. If you look at the top free VPN apps in any app store today, you will find that a shocking number of them are owned by shell companies based in jurisdictions with zero privacy laws and no transparency. They don't list their ownership, they don't list their physical address, they don't explain their revenue model at all. They simply say, oh, it's free, come use it. And that's pretty much it. When you hit connect on an unknown free VPN, you aren't removing surveillance, you are outsourcing it. You are replacing a known regulated entity with an unknown, unregulated, and unaccountable one. If your data is then stolen or sold by a free VPN based in a remote tax haven, who are you even going to complain that to? There is no one to sue, there is no one to call, it's just you and you lose. We need to address a fundamental misunderstanding that marketing has sold us. A VPN is a tool, not a magic shield. It doesn't make you anonymous. If you log into your Facebook account or your Gmail account while using a VPN, guess what? Facebook and Google still know exactly who you are. They have your login credentials, your device ID, and your tracking cookies. A VPN doesn't erase your digital footprint. Now, what a VPN actually does is very specific. It protects data in transit, and that is useful in very specific scenarios. If you're at a coffee shop or an airport, or maybe you're using Wi-Fi in a public space, you don't know who else might be using the same network sniffing all that traffic. In that case, a VPN is great. It protects your data from the person in the room sitting next to you. If you're using a VPN to bypass a geographic restriction to watch a website or a show that isn't available in your country, then a VPN is also a great tool for that. But for daily internet use at home, most of the times you don't actually need a VPN. Today's modern web traffic is already encrypted via HTTPS. Your ISP can see that you are visiting a certain website, but they can definitely not see what you're typing there. So by using a free VPN with your home connection, you are essentially just adding a middleman who can now watch what you're doing and who is more likely to spy on you than your ISP is. So, what is the solution, and how do you actually protect yourself without falling into this free VPN trap? You always want to be the customer, not the inventory. When you pay a reputable VPN provider a monthly fee, which usually is the price of a cup of coffee, you are creating a legal contract. They have a financial incentive to keep you happy. If they're caught stealing your data, they lose their entire business because their reputation is the only thing that they're selling. A paid VPN provider also has the budget to do things right. Look for companies that hire third-party security firms to verify that they actually don't keep logs, and they should publish these reports for the public. Number 2 is ownership. You need to know who owns that VPN service and what country they're based in. Number 3, modern protocols. They should be using fast, open source protocols like WireGuard, for example. And number 4, subscription-based revenue model. Their About Us page should specifically and clearly tell that we make money because you pay us. This is to reinforce the incentive point that I made earlier. If you're paying them, they're more likely to keep you happy and not to put their own name on the line. This brings us to the final, most important mindset shift. Privacy isn't free. Control costs money. In the physical world, we understand this. We pay for locks on our doors, we pay for curtains on our windows, and we certainly don't expect a stranger to stand outside our house and guard our door for free. The digital world is not different than this. If you're not paying for the product with cash, you are paying with your data every single time. There's no such thing as a free lunch, and there's certainly no such thing as a free global encrypted network. So stop looking for a magic button that makes you invisible and start making deliberate choices about who you trust with your traffic and data. Because at the end of the day, unfortunately, someone always sees it. So simply make sure it's someone you are paying to keep their mouth shut. And that's it for today's video. If you like the content, make sure to press that subscribe button and also press that bell icon, because we will be bringing a lot of tech videos over your way. As always, thank you for watching the content, and I will catch you in the next one.